So now you've gotten the perspectives, goals, and ideas for action from the 5 clusters. And I'll turn the mic over to Bill Carson, the other co-chair of the council, Innovation Council. Bill is the operations director, I must say, for 3 golf courses, all of which I've embarrassed myself on at one point or another. Bill, he's worked for much of his career in various aspects of the hospitality industry. He also chaired both the Sonoma County Tourism Council and the Sonoma County Tourism Bureau. So Bill, please come forward.
Thanks, Kevin. I want to thank all the cluster spokespeople and everybody for their presentations and all the information we've received today. I've enjoyed learning about this process. I was new to the Innovation Council this year, but I was involved in the former Economic Vitality project. A similar effort, I think, was mentioned a few years back. And out of that, you've heard a lot about the Tourism Bureau. I think the collaborative effort there with the, EDB was instrumental in putting that together. They've also, put together the engineering science program at Sonoma State University. So we've kind of been through this show before, several years ago, and here we are again. I think it's time to make it happen. The previous organizations were successful because of the focus groups. The approach the managers and owners took didn't make it happen were incredible. The draft report was circulated for comment, improvements were made, implementation launched. We found that we were successful because one or more groups with a direct interest in the cluster's success came forward to help lead the implementation effort. Now, there's a big difference this time around. Many years ago, being part of it, there was a lot of self-interest amongst the individuals. Kind of sitting back and listening in on the clusters and you're really not participating, not saying anything. For those that know me, that was really difficult. I was really taken back by the amount of consensus, the agreement, and the single focus that all the clusters had. In talking with Ben afterwards, I was going, wow, if there isn't a time to act, I don't know when there is. With this much agreement going on, this much, love, I guess I should say. It was really quite remarkable. We're taking a similar approach this year, using the report, to launch job-creating projects. It's going to be exciting. It's kind of showtime now, though. We've heard about the needs. We've heard about the opportunities. We know what needs to get done. We see that, where the opportunities lie, okay? Our first priority is to create teams from different clusters that each will tackle one of these goals. On that note, we need everybody to kind of think about this. We need champions to come forth. You heard about the opportunities and the actions, but we're going to need champions. On your table, you're going to see these cards, okay? Be part of the process. We need you to kind of step up and sign up and start putting these, actions in place and these programs in place that are going to happen. I can speak directly to the, Tourism Bureau. From the time we, thought of the idea, it took 5 years, okay? I'm not usually that patient. But it takes somebody stepping forward, putting their name down here and starting the process of putting this, we heard about branding, we heard about all these different processes. Okay, we need to put it in action. And so that's what we're looking for. And we need you to step up and be part of the process. We also would like to recognize the aspects of some of the projects, we've heard about today and that are already underway. Through the various groups, we'd like to partner with them whenever we can. I think you heard one-on-one manufacturing. You've mentioned the Tourism Bureau, Sonoma State University, the JC, the government, don't boo or anything, the chambers, trade groups, and I just want to thank them for all their input. In addition to our cluster teams, we will soon have a draft report to review at the council level. Next month, we will distribute it to you and a broad array of groups for a 30-day comment period. And then we will present the results of the action plan to the Board of Supervisors. Is that okay? The Board of Supervisors will then incorporate the report findings into comprehensive economic strategy for the county. As we move forward to our interactive panel sessions, I'd like to recognize some of those who have made today's presentation and council possible. First of all, the busy business executive who made the participation in the cluster sessions deserve our thanks. All those people that were there, stepping up, spending their time, and being part of this whole process. There were over 100 people that did this. I want to thank Doug Hinton for sitting there and trying to listen to all the input and make sense of it all. A lot of the sticky stuff on the walls there. Sometimes it didn't work so well, but I'd like to recognize the Innovation Action Council members who have also given their time and expertise to the cluster analysis. I'd like to thank the Workforce Investment Board and the Economic Development Board. I think putting this all together was monumental. And I also want to thank the Board of Supervisors for enabling this cluster analysis to take place. Very few counties have a board that's willing to engage and support this kind of action. And finally, my thanks to all of you for coming out here, for those of you that want to be part of the process. And together, I think we can make this all work and have a bright future. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Bill, and again, thanks to all the people in the clusters. It's one of those things that looks easy, but it was a lot of hard work. So let's give all these people who participated a round of applause. Now, I want to ask you, how many of you people personally know an Oscar winner? Anybody here know an Oscar winner? You do. Who is that? For sound. Okay. Well, in our next session, you're going to be able to hear from a gentleman who's won 4 Oscars, a Sonoma County resident that's won 4 Oscars. But before we begin this exciting part, we want to have everybody stand up and take a brief stretch. You've been sitting for a while. Let's just do a little stretch. Huh? Okay. All right, stretch is over. Sit down, please. Please sit down. Please sit down. Our next panel is coming up.